This is part 3 of a series. If you need context, you should go back to the beginning. In this video, what I'm going to do is take this function that we extracted and collapsed all the redundancy down into just one definition of a function, and I'm going to convert it into a full-fledged component. I'll go as far as transforming the function and the function calls, but I'm not going to go the next step of moving it into other files because sadly, that is actually enough work to be its own video with Visual Studio Code, at least. But I thought what would be fun would be, what if I take the shot timer and I actually use it? And I'll give myself between 1 and 2 minutes, and then it will go off. You should be able to hear the alarm. I don't know if you will, but I definitely will. And I'll go through the process of verifying that it really works. So what I'll do is I will make sure that everything is set up so that I can demo in time. I'll create a new terminal. I'll say npm run dev. And that'll just kind of keep me running all the time. And here will be my my dev version. Okay. So let me get started. I'll push the button and let it go. Okay, so the first thing that needs to happen is we need to change this signature. And surprisingly, this is one of the things that VS Code actually supports. We can just convert it to a destructured object. That will allow me to invoke this the way I need to. Also, for my own sanity, I'm going to extract an interface. I'll call it duration input properties. That puts everything kind of like on one line so that you can read it and moves the properties out where they belong, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This gives me the structure I need to turn these function calls into invocations of a React component. So let me do that. I'm going to inline the variables to move the function call sites to be where I want them to be. Then I'll figure out what I need to do in order to transform this into a component invocation. Now, sadly, we don't get any kind of help here. There's no way to, at least that I've found, to use Visual Studio Code to just automatically transform this. So we'll have to do it kind of meticulously, painstakingly even. I created a comment. That's obviously transformative. That does not change the behavior. And I pasted the function call into the comment. That's, of course, not going to do anything. Now I can start making those minimal transformations that I need to in order to turn this into a function, a component invocation from a function call. I'm sure I'm not using the right React terminology, and that's, oh, there it is. All right, so let's go ahead and see if it's still running, and it still is. I can still fill around with it. I can arm it. I can, wait for it to stop. I'm not going to wait 20 minutes. So there we go. So that was 18.5 seconds. And that was 18.5 seconds not to get it to be demoable. That was 18.5 seconds to verify that it was demoable, which is a step that I feel I need to take when I'm using this level of tooling. It'll do things. It'll do weird things like if you move something to another file, it'll just blithely create a circular reference rather than tell you that's not going to work. So 20 seconds, it would be a lot better if I was using Visual Studio and C# and ReSharper, but I don't feel too bad about that number considering I actually went and checked the app and made sure it was still working. All right. Anyway, so we go through and we continue with the transformation. Why I do it this way, rather than just delete and make another call, is this allows me to verify that I am always transforming. It's always the same code as it was. And B, when I do make that kind of big bang swap over from the line above to this line, I will know that I took the line above and gradually transformed it into this line. And I know that each step kind of proves that I'm not changing anything. I haven't changed any substance. All I've done is take kind of the syntax elements for the one parlance of TypeScript and replace them with the other parlance of these TXX elements. So I can copy that and simply replace this whole block with it because we know it's identical. Then I'll repeat that. Okay, create a comment, copy, paste, and one step at a time, start transforming. I need that. Turn this into a property. Turn this into a property. And repeat. And repeat. And one more of the long version. And then we switch to the short version. That's how it worked with the last one. And then we close it. So we copy this, paste it, and there we have it. It looks like I had always intended to have this design now, but we know that's not the case. We know we started with vibe-coded dross and gradually transformed it to this design, knowing for sure that we hadn't changed the functionality, even using the shot timer and compilation and running to verify it, which is important because, again, this code is not yet testable. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. The next step will be the file cleanup. I don't know how many people are going to want to watch that video, but I'm going to record it just for the completion's sake. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.